Well, it won't actually rev over 3,000 at the moment. Oh, it's still got a flashing engine management light. That's what I had on the last one. It wouldn't go away for love nor money. What do you reckon for 1,500 quid?
1,500 quid, I think.
Go on then, let's go for it. Let's see what you think of the smell. Well, my gym gear's in there as well, so it's even worse.
It does smell pretty bad.
Of course, the boys have fallen for the oldest trick in the book. Right, so I've embarrassed myself in front of the home-built guys by not being able to close the deal. Dun dun dun. Hopefully it's out of gear, otherwise dog hair Astra's getting a... Oh, there you go. So guys, we're on our way into work on Monday morning in the RAV4 part exchange. Drove it home obviously on Saturday after getting it in parts to see what I thought of it. Yeah, slow starting this morning. It was quite slow starting this morning from cold, but it did start. So it could be a number of things, I guess. Leak down into the cylinder, could just be low battery, but there was no smoke or anything like that, but you know, it was slow starting. It seems to be a little bit quieter, I'd say, on the top end, on the valve train. Not valve train, the rockers. Maybe because it was low on oil, and I topped it up with the fresh oil. It's that's helped that a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I mean, obviously under acceleration like this, going along, you know, sort of 2,000 revs, you don't really hear it. I'll try and see if I can replicate it for you. But I spoke to a few people and they said, to be honest, you know, once you start getting up in the miles on these, they do get a little bit more, a little bit noisy, a little bit more clattery. And as you can hear, it's not like major. Still got loads of punch in it, loads of punch. Like I say, it doesn't smoke at all. The acceleration's really strong. What's going on here? You probably just hear it here, you know, at higher revs. We go down again. There we go. Yeah. But punch. She's got some really good punch to her. Accelerate, yeah, I'm not out there. No. Yeah. When they're under oil pressure and you've got your foot on the accelerator, you don't, you know, it's really, really quiet. It's only when you come off slightly you start to get a little bit of clatter. But no, yeah, flipping punch-wise, it's got loads of punch. Suspension, really, really good. No knocks or bangs at all from the suspension. Gearbox is good. To be honest, with this, what I'd do if I was keeping it, I would put engine flush in, drain the engine oil, put fresh oil back in with some additives, some lifter type treatment. I reckon that would probably quieten it down a bit, and then just run it as it is. Run it as it is. Just give it a clean, give it a polish, and just enjoy having one at, you know, peanuts, because I say 1,500 quid out the door for this one. And you know, that's a cheap RAV4, and just enjoy it as it is. In fact, just thinking about it, with the servicing, not being able to see any servicing, it probably could do with a new fuel filter. That might help to start, mightn't it? I think a few of you guys said to me that helps to start on it. But I'm always cautious to give my opinion on what the cars that I'm, you know, the Part X ones that I'm going to trade out. I'm always cautious to give my opinion on what might be wrong with them, because I'm not a mechanic and I'm not right, and you know, a lot of the time, and I don't want people buying stuff on the basis of, oh, if you do this, that and the other, it's going to be fixed. So one thing I have decided, which I've already broken obviously in this part of the video, is I think I'm going to have to just not give my opinion. I'm just going to have to say, this is what it is, this is the age, this is the miles, this is the MOT, this is the price, come and make your own decision on it. Yeah. So yeah, with this one, like I said, it will go out the door. We're on 6th gear now, nice. Yeah, it's at national speed limit at 1,800 revs. Lovely, jobby. And it's got half a tank of fuel, guys, which is obviously the other reason I thought I'd give it a good run to see what I thought of it. So yeah, so obviously, you know, to recap on what can be done with a car like this is, when I decide I'm not going to trade it out, retail out, because it is too risky retail-wise, is I can sell it trade to another trader, or to somebody who's buying it as a business. and that means they can test drive the vehicle on the road, they can make their own decision, but there is zero comeback. When they take that vehicle away on a trade to trade sale, whatever they find from that point onwards, that's down to them. Zero comeback on that. Or you can sell to a consumer, but when you sell to a consumer, you have to sell spares or repair. You can't sell trade to a consumer. So you can sell it spares or repair to a consumer. They're not allowed to test drive it on the road because you're then saying that it's road legal by allowing them to test drive it on the road. And you are supposed to ensure they trailer it away as well. So that's where it's good if you've got like an Adrian to have it delivered. But you absolutely cannot let them drive it on the road because that is deemed as roadworthy, or you're not supposed to let them drive it away on the road either. So that's the way of selling it to a private person. You can do that to anyone. But what you can't do, if you can't just put sold as seen or whatever, shows the wrong gear. Yeah, you can't just put sold as seen. Yeah, hard acceleration, no smoke at all. No smoke at all. I'm really impressed how much punch this has got. So what have we got on today then? Today we need to finish the white Golf. I've got a subscriber who would really like the white Golf I Claire. I did promise her she'd get first refusal on that. I have had 2 other people actually also want to, you know, if that doesn't fall through, want to have a look at it as well. So that's a popular car, so I'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah, what we're going to do to it is just put it back together and give it a really good clean. Have a look at the window again and see if we can't get the squeaking to stop. The rear parking sensors don't seem to be working. I think I'm going to have to sell it as is with the rear parking sensors not working. I'm not sure what happened with the stereo swap over, whether something's not connected or it's unhappy about something. I'll do a little bit of research on it, but yeah, I think that might have to be sold as a known fault on it. But again, it's a 5k plus car that's being sold for 3.5k, so it's a good deal for whoever gets it even without parking sensors. So finish that off. We have got the home built guys coming over today, so really good to see those guys. I don't know what they've got planned for their visit, but it'll be good to see them. Hopefully I can get the Golf squared away before they get here. Once that's done, I think it's time to pull that green Jaguar XJ out and give it a clean and see what we've actually got. Try and get the door card off and check why the driver's window's not going back up again. And I think he's going to need a new regulator. Yeah, so crack on and do that. And then, like I said in my video as well, I think with the Citroen DS, I think I'm going to send it back down to Moors and get the timing chain down. Now, guys, it's the home built gang.
With cake?
With cake, but unfortunately I've got no power, so I can't offer any tea or coffee. Anyway, that's my excuse for today. Chair a go, you've got to give the chair a go. It's like anybody comes down here, that's the first thing, they hop straight in. I don't know, I've not spent as much time on it as you subs, I tell you. Right, I'm putting the boys to work straight away because I want their opinion on the RAV4. So guys, I've taken this in part exchange at the weekend.
Right, okay.
And but it's always the same old question, why did they part exchange it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I want your opinion on whether this is just an old diesel that's got a few miles on it, or whether there's something more fundamentally wrong with it.
It's got the family sticker.
Yeah, exactly. That means they're much more likely to fleece us for sure.
Absolutely. Under that back seat will be minging, it'll have baby milk and everything in it.
I think it's top end rattle. I think it might do with some valve lifter cleaner or something on it.
Possibly.
But I haven't had many of these. The last one sounded quieter.
Needs the headlights done.
Yeah, needs a buff on the old headlights. But this is the part exchange, you see. We don't spend too much time on the part X's.
No, definitely. That's a mistake I keep making. I keep treating every single one of them like my own, and I end up going way more than what I should be doing.
If you love doing it, you do. That's the trouble.
Yep.
Oh, it's a bit messy down there, isn't it?
Right, now that we've got the cover off, do you want to get a start and I'll have a listen?
No. I've got receipts to know that it's had glow plugs a year ago. No, 2 years ago, and it's had a battery 2 years ago. So I don't think it was a bit slow starting, you see. See what it thinks. I'm going to stand back in case you run us over. We rev it up a bit.
Yeah.
It's out of gear, isn't it? Doesn't actually sound that bad now you're over.
I think the worst noise you're getting is off the pulleys.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of squeaking and squealing off the pulleys.
But when you're driving it and you come off the power, you can hear it's a bit rattly top end wise.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound bad now actually, does it at all?
No, it sounds okay.
Yeah. Mike heard a video on it and thought it sounded awful, but I think that's just a video.
On video they can sound terrible.
They can kind of, yeah, they sound blooming awful.
Yeah, that sounds not too bad actually.
So you boys going to tell me it's not a nail now then, you think?
Nah, probably not. Sure it'll be fine. Every headlight buff.
Yeah. Actually got loads of grunt. It drives really well. No knocks or bangs on suspension. Does really well. Right, I'm going to let those boys take it for a spin and give me their opinion on it. It's all slightly kind of like irrelevant to a certain point because I'm not going to retail it, but even selling it off trade, I'm interested to see what they think of it. They're doing a bit of footage. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a load of the content. We're going to have loads of content. It's going to be too much to get in one of the videos. So we'll get a load of it and have it across on the boys' channel as well. So hop across to Home Built. I'll put a link down below and you'll see the rest of the content. Of course, the boys have fallen for the oldest trick in the book because I'm going to basically polish off the carrot cake they bought me before they even get back from that test drive. Boys have come up in their Audi A4. They bought, I think it was a £400 Audi A4. On their channel, they've been working their way around the niggles on it because I think they got it with a failed MOT on it. They've gone round and done loads. You see there's new discs and pads on it. I think they've done some ABS sensors and some other bits and bobs on it. And I think they were saying they've put thousands and thousands of miles on it now. Oh yeah, because they went along and painted. To be fair, they're more attention to detail than even me. They went and painted all the back covers and all that before putting all the wheels back on. And yeah, they're loving it. Mapped to 200 brake horsepower apparently. So yeah, if you want to see more about that getting brought back from the dead, again, hop on their channel and check it out. Well, they made it back, so things can't be too bad. So do we reckon then, boys? Why do we think it's been part X'd?
But it sounds like a hydraulic lifter.
It does to me, doesn't it? Yeah, I reckon maybe a lifter treatment in there, run it for a bit.
Yeah, I've just
fresh oil.
Look at the oil, yeah, the oil's black.
Yeah.
So it's had a new fuel filter, but I don't think it's had an oil change.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, maybe an engine flush in the old oil before draining it out, then put new stuff in with some hydraulic lifter on it, and it would improve it a bit.
Maybe because it's slightly higher mileage, a thicker oil as well, so maybe go up a grade, maybe.
I did think about that, but it drives all right in itself.
It's not lacking power or anything.
No, plenty of grunt, and there's no smoke either. I didn't see any smoke.
When it was colder, I got a tiny wee bit of black higher on the boost, but other than that, nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems to be mainly between gears and when you lift off the throttle.
Yeah.
You get it. So
yeah, when you haven't got the oil pressure up.
Oil pressure drops a wee
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm glad you think the same as me. Go on then, let's go for it. Let's see what you think of the smell. Well, my gym gear's in there as well, so it's even worse.
It does smell pretty bad. It's like a mix of new car smell and like.
Well, that'll be the 30 air fresheners I put in before I drove it home at the weekend. But yeah, in fact, you did have your nose over my gym kit as well, so that's probably not going to help you particularly well. But yeah, boy, does it smell strong on dog, doesn't it? But drives really well.
I've seen this on the video. Is this the one with the dog hair in the boot?
Yeah, well, Mike's cleaned it out.
Oh, look at that.
Done a job, hasn't he?
What a difference.
Done a Mikey from Brown Wars. It still needs another going over again. And it still smells pretty strong, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it smells a bit like the Focus before we cleaned out, because that was filled with dog.
Oh, I remember the Focus, yeah.
Maggots in yours?
No, I haven't found maggots.
Yeah. Maggots in yours.
That was disgusting.
David did a good job on our paint, didn't he? It's a good match, isn't it? It's a really good match.
That. Dave's a brilliant wee painter.
Yeah, that and the other side, other corner he did.
Yeah.
And then I put this piece of trim over the top where the scratches were.
Yep. He does do a good job.
For outside, it's immense, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, even for inside, it's really, really good. I've never met anybody who does the colour match as well as he does.
No. Does he mix it on site?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm properly putting these boys to work because we're now going to get their opinion on the DS. The infamous DS. and we'll see if it starts up and runs nicely right away, or whether it starts with a funny little idle or not. Dun dun dun. Hopefully it's out of gear, otherwise dog hair Astra's getting a... Oh, there you go.
There it is.
It is done it, isn't it? What's that?
Hope we've on each other.
Don't rev it at all because it'll go away again. Mind you, that sounds almost like there's something... Oh, it's quite straight down.
Kicked off there.
Yeah. See, that sounded to me a little bit like a tensioner wasn't coming out or something, didn't it? Maybe try turning it off, and then we'll let the oil drain away for a second or two, or a minute or two, and then we'll start again and see what we think.
You know, like the Corsas, how the chain rattles the plastic rocker cover?
Yeah.
It's a very similar noise, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and that's when the tensioners don't get the full pressure, isn't it, at the beginning, and then they kick off. And it's, mind you, everybody said that their coolant is quite dirty on these anyway.
And it's normally green in these as well.
Is it? So someone's put a different coolant in?
That normally looks darker because it's a kind of greeny colour.
Yeah, it's a reddy one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's a bit dark, doesn't it?
Feels strong enough, it's slimy. Don't taste it. But
Yeah, so it's... do you want to try starting it again and see if it does it again? Just see if it... if the oil drains away or not. I'm interested.
I'll put my hand on the top of the rocker cover and see if I can feel anything.
Because the boys checked the timing and the timing was good.
Silent now because I'm holding it down to you.
Yeah. You think it's a chain slapping the plastic?
Possibly. It's built up its oil pressure now.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's why I think it's got to be oil pressure related.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it's got pressure, it doesn't do it anymore. Oh, it sounds absolutely fine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see if it rattles at all with a bit more acceleration. Sounds healthy as now, doesn't it?
Yeah, that sounds perfect now.
So inherently I think the engine's good, but we've got something in the chain side of things, haven't we, I think? Good to have a second opinion again on it as well. So it looks like my customer's here for the ASX. So what I'm going to do with the boys here is let them have a little look at the beautiful X type. Now Mike said he's going to have this, but we can get him a second opinion on it. So make a list of how many things you think are wrong with that. I'll give you a whole pack of A4 paper. I'll catch you in a bit. I don't know how long it's been sitting.
It looks like it's been laid up for a long while.
Well, these boys are going to see me in action now and see if I can sell a car or not. So this is an opportunity to break out the battery tester, the BT300P that Top Don have sent me. And we can see what the health of the battery is like on the Jag. I've been keen to get one of these for a while because I kind of like the idea of doing a printout. I think this does a printout to show the quality of the battery before it goes out to the customer. So if there's any question of a bad battery, we'll know beforehand, because obviously a battery, well, you know probably better than I do, a battery can give you 12 volts or whatever, but it's the cranking that matters, isn't it? So the boys are going to do a little test with this for me because I've got my customers over there on the AX. Perhaps you want to do a little review for me on that.
Absolutely.
And see what you reckon to it.
I really like the Top Don packaging, it's always good.
It is good quality, isn't it? Yeah, I haven't had a play with it yet, so...
See, I wasn't going to mention it because I thought you were going to have to do a wee sponsored video on it, so I was going to keep quiet.
Has it got a printer on the top of it, that one? I can't remember or not. Some of them do, don't they? I'll have to cut that out if it doesn't.
It has.
Yeah?
It has.
We got any paper in it, or do we need to provide paper?
No, there's a wee roll in
Oh,
there.
there's paper in it. Oh, this will be good. I'm liking the look of it. It looks cool as well, doesn't it?
Really good build quality. I'm really impressed with the Top Don stuff. We just got a Raid 800 off of them.
Yeah.
Because I'd actually seen it on your channel first, and that's what made me start looking at it. And I was super impressed when it arrived. Really impressed.
Well, you mentioned it can code keys as well, which I'd forgotten because I had a key for the car that went out the other day, the Hyundai.
Yep.
And I should have programmed it with that actually. I didn't think of it. But yeah, do a little bit of content on that and let me know what you think of it, guys. I'll just go and check my customers are still okay. Right, so I've embarrassed myself in front of the home built guys by not being able to close the deal. The customer didn't have the ASX because they're looking at other vehicles. They're going to look at some Hyundai iX35s, I think they said, and a Nissan Qashqai. So this was probably the oddball choice out of all of those, wasn't it? So they're going to look at them today. They said the same thing though. They said they've been to see so many cars, which is never a good sign when someone's gone to see so many cars, and the preparation was really poor on them. And they noted how clean and tidy mine was again, which is the advantage of having this room to put them in once I've cleaned them. Keep all the unprepped stuff outside, keep the clean stuff in here. So anyway, the ECU's turned up from ECU testing for the Fiat 500, so let's wang that back on again. Now, there's a relearning process I have to go on this, don't I remember rightly? I think they have a letter in here that tells you how to do it, so we'll have to go through the relearning process. Putting it back on again should be a few seconds, but I've had some trouble with the relearning process again before, so let's get it on there, get it back to the customer, see if we make someone happy. So we've got the YTS team on the Jag while I crack on with the 500. See if we can't have like proof that I do actually fix things myself every now and then, rather than just send it out to Moores every time. I just got to remember what I did with the nuts and bolts as always. I think I put them in the car. So obviously battery's still off. We don't want to faff around with that until we've got the ECU back on again. Which way around does it go? It goes that way round, presumably, so you can see the stickers. Let's hope we've got the right plugs on the right ones. Didn't think about that. So here's the relearn procedure we've got to do for the ECU. You go, Mike, proof that the X-Type does drive. So runner and a driver. So we need to reconnect the battery, get the engine up to temperature. So let it sit here. We need to guarantee the engine is above 77. Might be worth plugging the top down in and reading the temperature while it's live. Make sure we get to that temperature. And then you need to rev it 3 times to 4,000. After each acceleration, you completely release the pedal, turn off and wait for the RPM to go to the decreased value. Now I've done this before and found I had to take over 6,000 for it. Well, not over 6,000, but to 6,000 for it to work. We'll give it a go this time and see if it works the way they say this time. So much data here with this topped on, so many things I can check. Really is comprehensive. I can check all my lambda sensors, I can check my camshaft position, info on the ECU, engine cranking, engine idling, engine running. There's loads of stuff here. Right, engine water temperature, there we go. Let's have a look at that. 82, bang on, so that's ideal. So I know I can do this relearn and it was fully up temperature. I do love this bit of kit. It's making me sound like I actually even know what I do now, doesn't it, this thing? So take it with the engine running and the gear lever in a neutral position, so gear lever in neutral. We are going to accelerate 3 times up to 4,000 RPM, and after every acceleration completely release the accelerator pedal and wait for it to decrease to minimum value. Then turn the key off and wait for 1 minute. Well, it won't actually rev over 3,000 at the moment, 3,500. So I don't know what that's about. It's like it's in a limp mode. There might be something else I need to do first. Turn it off and turn it back on again. No, still got an engine light. I had this before on one of these. Let's clear codes and try again. That's it. The phonic wheel missed self-learning not configured. That's what we're trying to do, the phonic relearn. Right, what I did, guys, is I disconnected the battery for 5 minutes and then gave the ECU another tighten up. And now I can rev to 4,000, no problem. And then one more. Although I've got to hope the engine temperature's still where it should be. Oh, I still got a flashing engine management light. That's what I had on the last one. It wouldn't go away for love nor money. Let's check we got fully up to temperature again. There we go, guys. Engine management light gone. And it's exactly the same as the last time. I remembered now. The instructions say 4,000. I've never been able to clear it at 4,000. I've always had to take it over 5,000 to clear it. As soon as I took it over 5,000 for the 4 times in a row, shut it off and shut it back on again, engine management light went. So we're away. So we're going to go back to the customer now, let them drive around and see what occurs. Now, I said I wasn't going to do anything with this RAV4, but I have to give it a little try just out of personal interest. I've got some hydraulic valve lifter treatment here, so I'm going to start it up, get it up to temperature, and then pop this in there, and then drive it home and back again tonight, I think, and just see if it does any improvement at all. Just again, just as a bit of an experiment. It needs 2 out back up to Scotland. I've had enough of them now, and I've got no more work for them, so they can get out of it. But it'd be great to have you down, guys. Loads of the footage is going to be on their channel. It's going to be on the home built channel. We're gonna what you've seen here is only the half of it. I'm leaving the rest of it with these guys on there, otherwise the video will be too long. They got a lot of stuff that wasn't on mine that is a bit embarrassing to myself, but it's still there for you to see. So yeah, good to meet you guys, and all of that best going back up in your Audi. I'm sure it'll get you there. Good. Yeah, it's awesome to have you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll catch you later, and then link down below for these guys. Now get out of here.